Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build. Today we're building a zombie apocalypse gas station. So what's a zombie apocalypse gas station? Basically, this is a gas station that takes place after a zombie apocalypse has begun, and basically it's totally wrecked, it's worn down, it's totally trashed, because obviously the world has basically gone to hell, basically. And I imagine that this is also a place where, you know, sometimes survivors or like groups of people who are traveling around will stop and like find shelter for the night or try to find food or something like that. But yeah, that's the build. It's a pretty interesting one. The reason I'm starting off the new year, oh, by the way, you know, happy 2022, you guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's Eve, by the way. I had a very, like, chill night in. I just played some Monopoly and just kind of watched, you know, the ball drop on TV and did all that. Very casual. That's more my speed. I like just casual, chill nights, but I hope you guys had a lot of fun. But I wanted to start off the new year with this build, which I hope is not, you know, like bad juju or anything like that, starting 2022 with the zombie apocalypse build. But I want to start with this build just because one of my most popular builds on this channel is my zombie apocalypse diner build, which I had a lot of fun doing that build and I'm so proud of it. And it was one of my most popular builds, and one of the most popular requests I get for builds is always like zombie apocalypse stuff. I don't know like exactly why. I mean, there are very fun builds to do, and I personally am a fan of like zombie content, you know, and you know, games and media and stuff like that, so I get it. I just it's just so interesting that so many people for some reason are really into this genre. So I wanted to start off the year with a zombie apocalypse build, just, you know, to a shout out to you guys, to say like this is something that I know that you guys like, that you guys would probably want to see, so I hope you enjoy. Also, I hope that it's kind of good juju in the sense that by, you know, recognizing that zombie apocalypse stuff tends to be my most popular, I really hope I'm going to start off, or, you know, go into this new year, you know, really strong with Kiarko and this channel, because I just want this to be a great year for this channel. I'm hoping to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2022, which I think is possible, and I hope that happens. It's been one of my goals for a very long time to reach that, that number, and I'll be very, very proud when I do, and it's gonna be, I'm so excited for that to happen, and I hope it does. So, you know, that's my New Year's resolution, is to hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel, and hopefully this video will help with that, just because it, like I said, tends to be a very popular genre for you guys for some reason. But these builds are very fun for me too, because, you know, the whole zombie apocalypse thing, everything's like trash and worn down, so it's so fun to just like make a build that looks bad, you know? Like, obviously there's like design elements in here, like there's very clearly a strong color palette going on already. You can see I'm going pretty strong with like the reds and the blues, but in terms of just like design, like obviously I designed this gas station, all that stuff, but I just got to place like trash and like random stuff everywhere and make it look very worn down and bad. I mean, look at this cool like gas sign that's like totally broken and tipped over. It's absolutely perfect for this build. So yeah, these builds are fun for me too, so I'm very, very happy to do another zombie apocalypse build for you guys. And also just another piece of fun new 2022 news. I think that I figured out how to make my builds downloadable. So this build actually will be downloadable. So linked down below in the description of this video will be some information on how to download this build. You will have to download a lot of custom content, just FYI, just because as you can see, I am a custom content builder. I do use a lot of custom content, but all that will be linked for you guys. And because this is the first video of 2022, and I feel like this is going to be a popular build just because I know that you guys like zombie apocalypse stuff, this build will be free for public download, so no caveats or anything like that, just go download it, it's yours for the game. The reason I'm mentioning that is because in the future, for like my future builds going forward, I think that they will probably be on a Patreon, but only for early access. So like I'm not my builds will not be like behind permanent paywalls. I'm just will probably have like an early access thing going on, just so I can freaking pay for college, you guys, because the program guys, I have expenses, I have stuff I need to pay for, and I love building, but it'd be really cool if, you know, like people like my builds enough to support me just a little bit as I move through my life and as I dedicate a lot of time to my builds. So to reiterate, this build is free. It will be available for download. You can check the description, but moving forward in the future, my builds will probably be behind on Patreon for early access. So we'll talk about early access stuff in Patreon in the future, at some point, we will talk about it more when we get down, when we go down the road. But back to this build, which, as you can see, is already getting pretty trashed up. You can see I have this big truck here on the left. I imagine basically that at the current point in time that we're looking at this gas station, basically a small family of 3 or 4 people are traveling across the country. They're a survivor group, right? They travel across the country in that big van on the left there. So I imagine the back of that truck is actually decked out like a little camper, like a home that people are traveling through, but they needed to stop at the gas station to fix their car. You can see I put some or not fix their car, fix their truck. You can see I put tires and tools beside the truck to look like it was being fixed and worked on. So the survivors are here for, I don't know, a couple of days, probably just camping out, looking for some supplies, what's the word? And just kind of scouting out the surrounding town and seeing if there's anything else that they can grab for the road, stuff like that. So this is kind of a family that's on a detour. So this is not a permanent, camp or home for them to stay during the zombie apocalypse. I feel like the best place to be during a zombie apocalypse would probably be at Costco, just because I think I actually read a Reddit thread about this once, about why a Costco would be so great for a zombie apocalypse. It has something to do with the walls being thick ass concrete, and there's gates all around it, and you have a lot of food forever, and there's kitchens in there and bathrooms, and it seems pretty much the perfect setup for a zombie apocalypse. So if it happens, that's where y'all should head. I think I probably asked this question in pretty much every other zombie apocalypse video that I've done. But what's your plan, y'all? If there's a zombie apocalypse, legit, if zombies walk the earth, if The Walking Dead happened, do you have a plan? I mean, not that you need a plan, I really doubt that's ever gonna happen, but I always think it's fun to think about this stuff, My plan, Costco. But this is a pretty cool idea too, driving around in a truck across the country, though I feel like gas would probably be a problem. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like some of y'all probably have some pretty creative ideas out there about what to do in this situation. But yeah, I think I mentioned in one of my other zombie apocalypse videos that I started watching The Walking Dead. I have not continued it since, to be totally honest with you guys. I don't know why. It just I don't know, it lost my interest a little bit. I've heard that the show gets better as it goes along, so maybe I'll revisit it and try to stick to it for a little bit, but I don't know. Honestly, you guys, I don't know. But if you guys have any other zombie media recommendations, please let me know. I feel like I just saw something with zombies, but I honestly can't remember what it was. But let me know if you guys have any recs at all. Also, New Year's. It's the new year, you guys. I already asked about your plans and all that stuff. If you guys, you did anything fun. But let me know if you guys have any, New Year's resolutions. Personally, I'm actually pretty optimistic about 2022, which I feel like is not the vibe online. I see a lot of pessimism online about 2022, which is totally understandable given, the state of the world with, the pandemic and everything going on. I totally get it. I do personally think that optimism is a good thing to have, just in terms of my personal mental health. I think it's better to be positive about things and to expect good things to happen. And I know that for, everyone, it can be a hard thing to do depending on, what's going on in your life, what you have, coming to you in the future. I know 2022 is probably going to be a pretty big year for some of you, starting schools, ending schools, moving, life changing is a very scary thing, and I totally get that. But I do think it's better to be optimistic, and I hope you guys recognize that, with change, some bad can come, but some good can come too. Everything that has happened in your life that has led you to this moment involved change. Things have always had to change in your life in order, for life to happen. So change is a scary thing, and 2022 is probably going to be full of change. But, I hope that the change always leads to something better, always leads to self-improvement, good things can happen. And I'm really hoping that, next year is a really, really good year. And I think it will be, again, it's just optimism. I have no backup for why I think that. I just think it's better to think that. But let me know how you guys feel about it. If you have anything you're really excited for, let me know. If you're you're nervous about something, let me know too. I'm a very young person, so I don't have like a lot of life experience, but I have some experience, just also specifically in terms of the college process in school, which I know a lot of you are dealing with right now. So, you know, if you guys want to talk about that or anything at all, just let me know. We can chat in the comments, we can chat in the Discord, which will be linked down below. You know, just hit me up. I'm always around. But yeah, so now we are on the inside of this build, and as you can see, it's a gas station. This gas station, honestly, like, on the inside, it's okay, I love the outside of this build. I think it's so freaking cool, so trashed up, really detailed, absolutely amazing. The inside's also pretty cool. I just didn't have, like, as much, like, gas station, like, objects as I, like, probably should have had. So basically what I imagined is that this gas station has been, like, ransacked, like, a lot, to the point where there's pretty much, like, no products in there, which makes sense, you know, in a zombie apocalypse, because people would just, like, you know, stop every time and take all the, you know, the supplies and gear that they can and leave. So it would probably be totally cleared out. That's why the shelves aren't going to be like stacked full of food or products like they usually would be in real life. And as you can see, I am putting up some, like, I don't know what you call it, just like cardboard signs on the windows, as if people were like trying to paste the windows closed for like protection against zombies, you know how like people like board up windows. I didn't have window boards, so instead I use these like cardboard papers and stuff, which I still feel like has the same effect. You can see like the windows look boarded up. And now we're gonna put in some shelves. I didn't have like realistic like gas station like commercial shelves, you know, so I just had to use these metal ones, which I still think works. And I like the idea that these are like specific supplies that like this specific like group of survivors are like gathering and like keeping inventory track of, because like you can see those 3 rolls of toilet paper there. I feel like those would have been gone in a second if people were like, you know, totally ransacking this place. So I think that toilet paper like belongs to the people who are, you know, in the truck traveling cross country, and they're just like, you know, taking it all out to take inventory and stuff like that while they're, you know, staying here for a few days. And then I'm gonna put in a little table, which obviously looks very gross and dirty, which was the goal. I was trying to use a lot of like dirty, you know, rustic, you know, worn down furniture. You can see that chair at the table is actually made of just like tires and like a piece of wood on top. And then we have like some cans there because they had to crack open some cans. And then we have a fan, some bottles of gas, just like random supply stuff that I thought would, you know, make sense to be in a zombie apocalypse. And obviously one of the shelves is tipped over because, you know, chaos and stuff, I guess. I don't know. And a guitar because, you know, like what's a zombie apocalypse without somebody, you know, sadly playing the guitar. If you guys have ever, you know, seen or played The Last of Us, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, someone's got to play the guitar. It's just like part of the vibe, you know? And then we have obviously our bathroom here, which I was trying to make as gross as I could. I don't know if they would have running water or like even electricity. I feel like the answer would be no, but I'm honestly not sure how our power and water grid work. That's just like not my area of expertise. So let's imagine that they do have like some sort of running water, because I really don't like the idea of these Sims just like using the floor as a bathroom. So I gave them toilets just, you know, so they could have some toilets. And then we're gonna add in some more trash because the place obviously has to be a little bit dirty. This room over here is like a storage room, I imagine, where like previously, like in like before the zombie apocalypse, it was probably like a staff room or just like a back room where they, you know, just had, yeah, a storage room, you know what I mean? And they have a microwave in there and they have a little mini fridge. So maybe that stuff would work. Maybe, I don't know. That'd be probably pretty useful to have, you know, if you were in a zombie apocalypse, to have a microwave, since everything you're eating is probably going to be canned. And then they actually have like a little board game there, which I thought would be probably pretty fun to have. I have like a lot of board games in my house. I'm a board game player. I love board games. And I'm glad that I am, because, you know, if there was a zombie apocalypse like this, you know, if you don't have internet or power, it doesn't matter. You got your board game. You're good. You got your, you know, I'm trying to think of the board games I have. I love Everdell. Everdell is my favorite board game of all time. Highly recommend if you are a fan of board games, specifically, you know, worker placement and, you know, strategy board games. And the art on it is so beautiful. It's an amazing board game. Highly recommend. Risk is a fun one. Catan, you know, I'm trying to think of, you know, Carcassonne is fun. You know, this is not the time for board game recommendations. If you want more recs, you know, just ask me down below. but let's get back to the build. Basically over here we have a little lounge area. Probably the TV doesn't work. Maybe the radio does work, because I imagine they probably would need a working, radio to try to like contact other survivors and stuff. Put in a basketball just, for fun. Maybe it's something that they grabbed, on their journeys across the country, and they just sometimes play basketball, I guess, for fun, to pass the time. And then we actually have this back room here, which I imagine was probably originally like the office of like whoever the manager of this gas station was. I'm not like too well versed in like the layout and the architecture of like gas stations, so I imagine that they have like offices, but I'm not quite sure. But this one has an office. As you can see, the rug is totally torn and dirty and gross. There's papers and trash everywhere. There's a little pet bed on the side there, so maybe the family traveling has like a cat or a dog or something. And then these two beds I'm putting in, obviously were not like originally part of the gas station. They're just like little cots that I imagine, the truck driving family has, and they just like, brought in here so they could, sleep on their cots instead of in the truck. And yeah, we are almost finished with this build. I'm trying to remember what else I have to do in this build. I think I just added more details here and there. You can see there's a lot of details. Like I said, you guys, be aware that if you want to download this build, you are going to have to download a lot of custom content. Unless you want to just download it and just like not have the custom content in your build, which you totally could, you would just probably be missing out on a lot of stuff in this build. But just keep that in mind, that I am a heavy custom content user, and that's just a part of my builds, just so you know. And then out here we have a little area for them to do laundry. I don't remember if I actually keep this or not. Oh, I do. Okay. So they just have like a little bucket of water out there so they can, wash their clothes. And then we're just gonna add in a few more supplies, I guess, just like bags of flour, a little AC unit, and yeah, that is the build. Wow, the outside looks so amazing. I'm really proud of this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any zombie apocalypse plans, any New Year's Eve plans, resolutions, anything like that. Again, I really hope that starting the new year with this is not bad juju. I really hope that we don't actually start a zombie apocalypse this year, because that would kind of suck, you guys, mainly because I couldn't build anymore, but yeah, let me know. And yeah, 2022, I think it's gonna be a good year, you guys. Like I get the anxiety, I get the pessimism, I get why people aren't excited for it. I totally understand. I think that we should try to be optimistic. I think we should try to look, to focus on the things that we're actually looking forward to, because, you're never going to have a full year that doesn't include one thing that makes you happy. You're going to have something in the next 365 days. One thing's going to make you happy, and that's what you got to look forward to, okay? So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful 2022. I'm so excited. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.